President Trump just unified Republicans in Congress to pass major tax reform, and now they face a possible DACA deal, a huge boost, if they get lucky, in infrastructure spending, and the budget to deal with. But what impact will the scuffle between Steve Bannon and President Trump have on the president's agenda? To discuss, I'm joined by columnist Ann Coulter in New York, one of the earliest and strongest Trump supporters, and also in New York is National Review editor Rich Lowry, who was less than an enthusiastic supporter at the outset of Donald Trump. Both of you, it's great to have you on. Different perspectives on this, perhaps, but let's start with you, Ann, on this Bannon-Trump feud. Some wild legal implications for both Steve and perhaps the president's team, which I find kind of wild that he might have said these things, given the appetite for Mueller and the Democrats, what they want. But on the issue of the agenda, the Trump agenda, do you see any impact here?
No, really none at all. I don't know whether to believe the quotes. I haven't heard anything from Bannon. There's the book review editor of the Washington Post just posted an article saying that there are some credibility issues with Michael Wolff, though I mean, a lot of it's a fun read. There were a few good points Bannon made. The stuff about Russia was completely insane, so it kind of surprises me that he'd say that.
Treasonous, Ann? Treasonous and unpatriotic to take a meeting?
Yeah, I'd put that in the...
yeah, and that he definitely
I put that in the insane camp.
Yeah,
but the same camp
he marched
is...
the lawyer up to Trump's office, like... I mean, who knows whether, I doubt that some two-bit lawyer from Russia was taken up to the 26th floor. That just seems, to me, that seems ridiculous.
Apparently he wasn't, but he also said, if you want to have a meeting like this, what you do is you send your lawyers to a Marriott in New Hampshire. Well, Hillary did a lot more than that, but yeah, you launder it. It was kind of a stupid meeting. Hillary paid $12 million to the Russians to get dirt on Donald Trump. So, no, the Russia stuff has been boring and stupid to begin with. I don't think it's really going to have any effect, although, I mean, it's clear that the media has no idea why Trump won. I'm starting to wonder if Trump and Bannon have any idea why Trump won. The issues that Trump ran on, and I wish you would always have me on when you're talking about Dreamers or immigration, is immigration, trade, and no more wars. The trade deals are easy. The no more wars ought to be easy. Doesn't seem that easy. But it's all about immigration. And I mean, in this last, to be fighting about the Alabama election, there was a great member of Congress running in that election. Trump didn't endorse him. Yeah, Bannon was in the White House at the time.
But that's not. And I want Rich to get on this because they're not debating immigration. I agree with Ann on the immigration issue. Trump has no. But I'm saying what I'm saying here.
Oh, sorry, they were debating Alabama.
Right. The comments in the Wolff account. Again, we're going to learn more about this, whether it's true or not. I'm sure we'll hear from Bannon at some point. But Rich, on the issue of immigration, look, it's tons of room to argue with any DACA deal or, gosh, should we build the wall, have 10 years of enforcement before we ever entertain a DACA deal? That's a legitimate debate that, people like Ann and myself and Bannon would probably have with some of the Trump folks. But that's not what this was about. Again, this is one excerpt of a book. We don't know what else is in this book. There could be, and I'm sure there's a lot more. But your take on this aspect of it.
Well, we have other people who are quoted in the book who are contesting the quotes. So we don't know 100% whether he used this nuclear word of treason, but it is consistent with blind quotes we've seen over the last year where Bannon really hates Jared Kushner and thinks he was doing something untoward with Russia. And look, I obviously had my reservations about Donald Trump, but I do want him to succeed. And I think the fact was, in the White House, Bannon alienated a lot of people. He did spend a lot of time leaking. He got fired for leaking when he called out of the blue a left-wing journalist from the American Prospect. And Alabama was a debacle. And when these allegations came out, and a lot of them were credible, Bannon didn't back off in the least. He proudly continued to support Roy Moore and got Donald Trump involved. And for Donald Trump, winning is very important. And the fact, you look at the last month, Bannon led him into a debacle in Alabama, whereas Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, Bannon's nemesis, passed a huge part of the Trump agenda. That's the biggest legislative accomplishment so far.
And do you find it interesting or perhaps ironic that the establishment is, or frightening, that the establishment is rallying to Donald Trump after this excerpt is released?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's terrifying. And you see, I anticipated Rich's response to bring up Alabama. No, that mistake was Donald Trump's. That's why I say I wonder if Donald Trump knows why he was elected. Why would he endorse Luther Strange, who was a disaster on immigration, when Mo Brooks was running? At least in Bannon's defense, he was still in the White House and couldn't endorse anyone during the original primary. It was, and if you have to choose between, I mean, neither Roy Moore or Luther Strange were great on immigration. We could have counted on Roy Moore just because he would have voted against Mitch McConnell.
Right, but now we don't have to relitigate Alabama, but how does this war of words help the conservative populist agenda? I would say it doesn't help it at all.
No, it doesn't help it, but I also think it doesn't hurt. I just think it's utterly irrelevant. I mean, Macomb County, Michigan didn't vote twice for Obama and then Trump so that the hedge fund managers could keep the carried interest loophole. They didn't vote for tax cuts.
Well, those are all great points.
They also didn't vote for Steve Bannon. And the fact is there are a lot of people who are in favor of this immigration agenda still around Donald Trump. Stephen Miller, very effective guy. Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, very influential with this White House. So the idea that Steve Bannon has at least betrayed in the press that he somehow uniquely understands Trump and was uniquely responsible for the election victory was another thing that was rubbed Trump the wrong way, and another reason this breakup has been brewing for a long time.
All right, guys, thank you so much.